Muy buenas amigos y bienvenidos un día más a Come Over Gaming. Es como siempre un gran placer el poder estar aquí junto a vosotros para seguir disfrutando de lo que más nos gusta. Y hoy venimos con un contenido centrado en la simulación Motorsport, pero no es ni una onboard, ni un talk and drive, ni un primeras impresiones. Se trata de una entrevista a una persona que estuvo a cargo del proyecto Richard Vance Rayleigh, exactamente para la versión PC, y el cual aportó todo lo que sabía para que el título fuera el día de lanzamiento lo que fue, ¿no? Una auténtica obra maestra, sobre todo hablando de físicas. Estamos con Carl Tonsgaard y bueno, básicamente comentaros que va a ser una entrevista en la que le vamos a realizar algunas preguntas y ya que su idioma más aparte del sueco, él es de Suecia, pero bueno, el idioma que más domina de manera internacional es el inglés, vamos a realizar esta entrevista en ese idioma. Bueno, pediros disculpas por nuestra quizás pronunciación no tan correcta como la suya, pero hacemos todo lo posible para que la entrevista sea entendible en ambos aspectos, tanto por su lado como el nuestro, y simplemente esperamos que vuestra estancia en esa entrevista sea interesante, os aporte datos que os faltaban y sobre todo que paséis un buen rato. It's a real pleasure for Cover Gaming have the opportunity to talk with one of the main developers of the Richard Vance Rayleigh title. To do this, we are here with Carl Tonsgaard, lead programmer at Warthog Studios during the development of the title. Hello Carl, it's a real honor to have you here.
Thank you, Eneko. It's a great pleasure to be here as well. I'm really happy to talk about Richard Vance Rayleigh, and I'm also really happy that you reached out after all these years of that passed since the title was first released.
Well, we are going to start talking about the title. As I said, it's a great honor, not only for Cover Gaming, also first personally for me to have the opportunity to talk with one of the persons who helped to create and develop Richard Vance Rayleigh title. At this day, are you aware of the community that exists behind of the title and how grateful all sim racers are for having Richard Vance Rayleigh since 12 years ago?
Well, to some extent, of course, maybe not to a full extent, but to some extent. I do notice new videos being posted on YouTube still to this day. Yes. And I have over the years seen some pretty amazing mods also coming out from the community, like everything from new particle system tweaks to modified physics and new assets, new cars, new tracks. I think the first thing that really caught my attention was the online racing support that was added through some kind of hack into our Ghost Car functionality. Yes. Quite a while ago. Yes. When I saw that was an eye-opener for me that people really tried to get this to work the way they wanted it to have. So that was really cool.
Yes, that was, like you say, a feature that I think it was a DLL file that injects in game, and it was released in the first years of the modding.
Yeah, and since the game wasn't really developed to be extended at all, I'm truly impressed by all this hard work that people put into this to reverse engineering all our custom formats and so on. So that's it's really impressive.
We are going to now focus on details about the development of the title. Tell us more in proof how and when started the project in general, and how you have the opportunity to take the place of the lead programmer at Warthog.
Yeah, so I joined Warthog, and it was actually named ATOD at that time, the game development studio in Sweden. Okay. I joined the company in January 2002, I think. Uh-huh. And this must have been just after they signed the contract with SCI for this new racing title. So the studio had developed a few racing games before that. I think on PlayStation and maybe on some other platforms as well, but nothing for PC or Xbox. So that's where I came into the picture. Okay. And I honestly didn't have that much of commercial experience at that time. I had done a lot of computer graphics development for PC, but this was my first game to be working on, so that was really cool.
And you mentioned that the studio previously developed some other titles for older PlayStation console. You can say the name of the titles, or you don't remember?
I honestly don't remember. Maybe I should do, but this was 12 years ago, as you understand,
so
or even 14 by now.
I was something more arcade than simulation.
Yeah, it was more of arcade style games. That's for sure.
Okay.
And a couple of months into the development, we hired Eero Pietlainen, the physics programmer.
Yes.
And I still remember the demo that he brought for his interview was like this Formula car with some multi-body physics that really impressed us with what he did. It was really cool to see. And some of the other candidates that we brought in for this position, they had maybe a demo showing a couple of boxes bouncing for a while before exploding due to some numerical instability. And then Eero showed up and showed this kind of a complete car simulator that was really cool.
How were the first month of the development? I guess that the investment of brainstorming, no sleep, so much coffee to create a graphic and physical engine from scratch takes a proper time. The programmers at the studio developed various some different programs to accelerate and make easier the implementation tasks of your 3D model like cars and trucks, and import physics, marshals and collisions in-game. Maybe the name of these applications are Kangaroo and X-Trekking?
Yeah, that's true. So Kangaroo was the name for the track editor we had.
Okay.
And my good friend Magnus Österlind, who was the lead for the Xbox version, we actually started to co-wrote the graphics engine for the PC version. That's really where this development started on our side. And then the PlayStation title was also done in parallel with this work. And we developed the tools along the way. Kangaroo, I think, was developed for previous titles, as I understand it, as I remember it. And I spent quite some time on developing plugins for 3D Studio Max, for instance, for damage visualization and also model exporters.
Okay.
So a lot of the tools were kind of developed along the way. When we needed things, we developed a tool for it, and we gave the tools to the graphics artists to kind of continue to tweak the experience in the game.
Great. Do you remember that the physical engine of Richard Byrne really have the particularity of owns a particular combustion system?
Yeah, so the physics engine was completely written in-house, and it's really the child of Eero Pietlainen.
Okay. It's a masterwork of Eero Pietlainen.
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So now that we have another question about, if we speak about physics, we are talking about simply Eero Pietlainen, true?
Yes, that's true.
Mainly.
yeah.
I think yes.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I think he will have some other physics programmers near him, but I think the brainstorming and the code implementation will be a work of Eero Pietlainen, true?
Yeah, I think he actually did this more or less by himself, which is an impressive feat for sure. He joined us fresh out of university, and it was really lucky shot that we found him while we were searching for a new physics developer to the team. He had the theoretical knowledge needed for combustion engine simulation, for tire simulations, for the physics, and also he had hands-on experience from go-kart racing, and he had the coding skills at least enough to kind of implement those theoretical models in a real-time fashion. So was a lot of different parts that kind of came together in this person.
He is not good only in one part, for example, in tire model. He was good in combustion system, in tire model, also in general vehicle dynamics, in everything.
Yes, for sure.
I guess that your job at War Dog as a lead programmer starts from supervising the human team which coded the title. Tell us more about the source code, which language was used from start to finish of the development process, in which priority order the War Dog team go implementing every technical aspect of it, like graphic engine, physics engine, user interface, stage design, damage, and more.
So I was responsible for the PC version, but we shared the physics engine and the gameplay with the other platforms, and also the Xbox and PC version shared a lot of the graphics engine as well. It was all written in C++.
Yes.
We used Lua, I think, for the scripting language for some of the animations and so on. But the rest of the code is C++. So we started with the graphics engine at least for the PC side. Yes. And Aero joined a couple of months later. I'm not really sure exactly when, but I think the main part of the physics engine was written at that time, even if we maybe had a little bit of it before he joined, but it was really in that order. UI, stage design, of course, was also developed along the way. I think we added damage and so on, and some graphical effects quite late in the development process.
Today, and technically speaking, which are the features you are most proud of the title, and something that could be improved in a dramatic way, in your opinion?
Well, of course, the physics engine is great. The way the cars behave, I think, if you look at the replays, I think we were way ahead of competition at that time, and we kind of saw it. I think of course, when you play the game, you feel it, but also when you look at the replays and you see how the car behaves on the different tracks, I think that's
for sure. The replays of Richard and Riley are, in my opinion, amazing.
Yeah, thanks. I'm also really glad that Magnus and we did some kind of skunk work. We showed up at work Saturday morning, and we decided to get some atmospheric effects into for the sky rendering, a sky and landscape rendering, and that was kind of outside of contract and outside of what we were supposed to do. Wow. But we just really wanted to have something really nice for that part. Of course, given that we worked on this title for a bit more than 2 years, looking back, we could have, of course, aimed a little bit higher for the graphics part.
Yes.
We started working with the first generation, really, of pixel shaders, and when the game was released, I think, we could have done a little bit more on that side. Okay. But we struggled to kind of squeeze everything into those 8 instructions of what you had at that time that you could use for the pixel shader. So it was tough enough. But of course, when you look at the replays and the videos being produced now, maybe that could have been improved a bit further.
So for many years after the release of the title, there have been all kinds of rumors about the development of the title. Maybe you can help us in the next one. It's true that Richard and Riley were released on PC for Windows, PlayStation 2 and Xbox without having completed the development at 100%?
Well, I think that you can always polish and improve and tweak and add new bushes and trees to the forest for different tracks. So we spent a lot of time to get this to the level where we were. I don't think that the Xbox or PlayStation title wasn't completed. Actually, in the end, I jumped over and worked solely on the Xbox for a couple of months before release because we wanted to have that version fixed and done. At that time, when you shipped the Xbox title, that was really it. Of course, you had to pass Microsoft testings, but it was also no way to kind of patch it after release.
Okay.
So I worked on the Xbox version, and then heading back to the PC version to make the final touches to that one. And after the release, I think we released a patch or two for the PC version as well. So that part was from kind of strategic purposes.
For example, what happened during the coming months after the launch of the title? War Dog disbanded, SC was absorbed by another company. You can tell us a bit more about this?
Well, I did. I actually left right after the release of that patch for the PC version. I left the company.
Okay.
So I don't have that much of details on what happened to Warthog and the SCI, unfortunately.
And today, managing the information you got right now, you know what are the rights and maybe the source code of Richard Van Rayleigh in that original PC 1.02 version?
I honestly don't know who owns the code. Given the interest in the community, of course, it would be awesome if someone could release this under open source or something.
Yes.
But yeah, we should try to find out who owns the source today.
I have seen that the company that have the Richard Van Rayleigh rights right now released in the past year some arcade game for a small console Gizmondo. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, the Gizmondo they acquired the studio that was previously called ATOD. I know that when Warthog shut down.
Okay.
So they did some kind of arcade version for this Gizmondo platform.
Yes.
And then that didn't really work out with, this whole Gizmondo concept. So I'm not sure what happened after that.
To this day, you have worked or maintained personal relationship with
some of them, but we have spread out quite a bit. And I did start my own company with Aero and with another colleague after leaving Warthog.
Wow, interesting.
So we actually did work on a racing simulator that was supposed to be open for the mod community.
Maybe Carl, the name is Driver Republic?
Yes, that's correct.
So you are in the development team with Eero Pitulainen?
Yes, yes, I was.
Okay.
So we did that for about a year or so, but we ran out of funding, and I went to the mobile phone business and spent a few years with that in Korea before coming back to Sweden again.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what happened after my time at Warthog. Yeah.
I was like curiosity. I was a beta tester of Driver Republic in that day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was subscribed, and I really fell in love with that physics engine that remember me to Richard Van Rayleigh. It was great.
Yeah, thanks.
It was great.
Yeah, it was a bit sad that we didn't manage to pull through all the way with that project. I'm glad that we got the beta out. I'm glad to meet someone who tried it. I think we aimed really high on the technical side for that project, both from physics part, from resource management, from being an online game that we hadn't done before really, and also on the graphics side. So it just kind of took longer than we hoped for.
So I would like to know what brings you as person and professional in the sector to be involved in the development of a title which today remains like the real reference in the field of rallying motorsport simulation.
Well, I'm really proud of what we accomplished. And not only myself, but we worked a lot of overtime for this project to get it done. I decided afterwards that I didn't want to work that much again, and it took a few years before working with Samsung in Korea that I really got back to that kind of pace of work. But we also had a lot of fun. There was a bit of a competition between the different platforms, but Eero and Magnus on the Xbox side and myself, we really tried to make this into something great, and I'm truly proud of what we accomplished. And when I see the rally sim community still posting these videos and so on, I'm truly honored.
Yeah, for sure, because you know that some months ago, Codemasters launched the Dirt Rally title.
Yeah.
With improved graphics engine and effects, and and it's an actual reality title. And today is the day that people who is looking for a real simulation is going to reach advanced rally, and not titles that were released 1 year ago or maybe 5 months ago. And this, I think, is for you needs to be a really important thing.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's kind of hard to grasp even that the work that you did, and also in a field that is constantly evolving this quickly. I've been working on the mobile phones since then, and a lot of the phones that I've been part of course, is not used at all anymore, even if they were really high-end back then. But so that people still play the game, that people still enjoy playing the game, and it's hard, and it's kind of brutal to you as a player. You don't really feel that you're a superhuman that you typically do in other titles, but I guess maybe that is also the reward that you get when you play it, that you need to struggle and it's really tough on you, especially in the beginning. But I guess the reward gets so much bigger with that when you finally master it.
What I can say is that you can be proud of the work you did. Finally, do you have something to say to all the users of or sim racers lovers who you today keep using your title or Rich Van Rally that you helped during the development for his enjoyment, modding, or simply driver training? You have something to say to the sim racing community?
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm impressed by all the work that has been done. We talked about the different mods, physics, and particle systems, and so on. I also saw that someone got this to work on an Oculus Rift a while ago.
That was impressive. This is
impressive
work.
This is impressive. It's truly amazing, I think. My message will be to keep up the good work, and I hope that there's one day will be like a truly open platform for the rally simulation community to work on together. If someone could open source the Richard Burns Rally source code, I would be really happy for that, even if I probably had to be a bit ashamed of some of the code that I wrote back then. So yeah, keep up the great work and keep playing the game.
I am with you, Carl. So thank you again. Thank you very much for being here with us. It was a real pleasure, and maybe we will be in touch another time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eneko. Thank you for reaching out, and also for bringing this back to the Rally Sim community. Thanks.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Great.